Hi guys, I hope you enjoyed the 40 seconds of late night ukulele noodling. I've been working on a new concept and I thought I'd share it with you. But the story of how I started playing ukulele is actually really informative of how if you have a positive attitude about something maybe that you're not crazy about in terms of music or techniques or instruments, that it can actually open up creative possibilities to you as an artist. So I didn't play ukulele until a couple years ago. My buddy Charles kept bugging me about, hey dude, you got to teach ukulele because there's tons of people that want to play ukulele. And I was just like, man, I had a real negative attitude about it. I was like, man, I don't want to play ukulele. It's a toy. It's not like a guitar, But then eventually there were enough people who wanted to play ukulele that I said, okay, let me go ahead and do it. And I started realizing, like anything, that I'm going to have more fun with it if I actually look for the positives about what I could do artistically with it and what the potential of it is, rather than, kind of just harping on the negative aspects of, a ukulele isn't a guitar and all this stuff, right? So I started realizing that the artistic potentials with the ukulele are sort of to take inspiration from banjo and mandolin, which are actually more similar than you'd think. So like a ukulele has a fourth string that's actually a higher tuned G string. That's not unlike a five-string banjo. The fifth string's not a bass string, it's a high string. So that means you can get, scale runs going, where instead of doing, a couple notes on one string, you can actually do a cascade where the notes of the scale bounce between the strings and they make this big ringing sound, just like a banjo cascade. Also, you can do banjo rolls because you can apply fingerstyle guitar playing or hybrid picking to that, which allows you to mimic those sounds. Also, I started to realize it reminded me a lot of mandolin because it's got the higher range like a mandolin. But unlike a mandolin, it's still basically tuned like a guitar, so the chord shapes all kind of transfer. So the thinking was easier. So you end up getting this sort of nylon-sounding banjo mandolin kind of hybrid, and a lot of those ideas work, and that resulted in what you heard there for 40 seconds, which is kind of a cool, unique thing. Doesn't sound like an amateur toy kind of thing. It just has this unique, different sort of sound to it that's really cool. Now that same approach, if you apply it to guitar, yields powerful results as well. So in teaching a lot of students, I will have students sometimes that, let's say we were learning something like hybrid picking. Well, they would closely associate that technique with country music and go, dude, I don't want to play redneck country music, man. And I'll go, listen, man, you should learn some of the techniques because you can apply it. And if you're actually positive in that way, you would realize that, well, the technique allows me to do certain things mechanically that would be almost impossible trying to flat pick, or very difficult, at least for most people. And that opens up your musical possibilities of things you could imagine composing or playing. A similar thing to that, too, is slide playing. I have a lot of students that sometimes are very negative to slide playing because it's just so different, and it seems really difficult, and it seems really, country or like Delta blues, swampy sounding. And, if you're into metal, you're probably not into slide, right? But by studying slide, you realize how vocal you can sound with a bottleneck. And at least for me, I ended up getting really good at slide and sounding authentic with it. But that phrasing of the way I phrase with the slide really carried over and leaked into my normal lead playing, So I would normally slide a lot anyway in my lead playing, but I would mainly do it to connect parts of the neck, right? But instead, I after playing slide, I started to try to mimic my slide playing more on guitar, and my playing got a lot more vocal. Now that I don't think I would have ever stumbled upon that or really understood what was going on there, if I were just trying to mimic another player who did that, if I hadn't played slide, because I know where they're coming from now, right? So slide, you're trying to mimic a gospel singer, and then I'm trying to take that sound and then mimic that slide sound in a traditional fretted playing style. So really the idea is, rather than having a negative outlook on a technique or a style, you should really just learn it. And then because you never know what the potential is for that to take you, to inspire your playing in another direction. Now, if you guys would like to learn how to play ukulele, please contact me because I teach that. And we learn all sorts of crazy stuff. So, I just helped somebody do Here Comes the Sun, and I've had, I had a student that requested a Dave Matthews song, and we arranged that for uke. So you can do almost anything with it. But I hope you enjoyed this, and this has helped you out or given you some ideas. Thanks a lot.